Hi, this is Dr. Terry Lassane. Welcome to Children's Literature, LSSL 5360. I wanted to take a few minutes to acquaint you with the LiveBinder site for this class. I have shared that link with you. It is at Blackboard. I have posted it to LibSci as well. So if you find the link and click on it, it will take you to a site that looks like this. It'll say, "Welcome to LiveBinders," and it'll ask for an access key. I've tried to keep things very simple for this class, and the key for the class is simply the word key. Type it in, click verify, and this is what you'll see. This is the course. It has everything here that you will need to successfully complete the course, and it basically replicates everything that is up at Blackboard. The benefit for LiveBinder is it's available to you now before the semester begins so that you can get underway. If you look across the top, you'll see tabs. This is LiveBinder, and it has tabs just the way a notebook or binder would, and the tabs help organize the information that's here and kind of direct you to see what it is that you need to know as we begin the class. I hope that you'll take some time to read the introduction to the class, but really the tab that you need to click to begin with is the one called Getting Started. Getting Started has three sub-tabs: Professor Information, Class Policies, and Tips for Getting a Head Start. Professor Information contains information about yours truly, Dr. Lassane. You can see it's saved as a Word document. You simply click on that link. It will open up for you on your computer. Class Policies, ditto. It's a Word document. The class policies will take you to a Word document that explains my policies, especially as they pertain to late work. That is something you really need to take a look at now. Make sure that you're familiar with my late work policy. Basically, I do not take late work over the course of a semester. But the sub-tab that you probably want to give the most attention to right now is Tips for Getting a Head Start with the class. When you click on that sub-tab, again, you're going to get a link to a Word document. If you click, that document will open for you. You also have the choice of saving it to your desktop, but it will open as a Word document, and you can see the tips that I've given you for getting underway in the class. Other tabs include a tab for the syllabus and other materials. This is what happens when you click, though, on the Getting Started Before Class Starts tab. If you look, there's a set of directions. I'm going to click on Enable Editing so we can scroll through this document. But there's a set of directions here that will help you get underway in class. And it basically is step by step what I think are the most important things for you to do before class begins. I've also included in here some general guidelines as you read the books ahead of time. I'm sure you want to know what it is that you need to do for each of them, and so I've given you that kind of information there as well. So if you look back here, that takes care of the Getting Started tab. The next tab here is the syllabus. This is the document by which everything gets done in the class, and I'll go over this in just a few minutes with you in a separate video. Go through the assignments and try to provide you as much detail as possible. The next tab is Assignments Overview. There are three general assignments for class. One is a set of annotated bibliographies, one are your textbook discussions, and the third assignment for the class is Project Beth. Each of these three assignments, or sets of assignments, are worth 100 points, for a total of 300 points for the class. In order to earn an A, you'll receive 270, which is 90%, of the 300 points. That's how you earn an A in class. I've given you information on each of these three projects, just a basic kind of overview for each of them. I've also given you much more detailed information for each of the 5 annotated bibliographies and for each of the 5 textbook assignments as well. Due dates are also found here. As I said, everything you need to know for class can be found here at LiveBinder. The rest of the information is simply replicated at Blackboard, and I've set up Blackboard so that you can turn in your assignments, and so that I can grade them for you there and give you feedback should it become necessary. So, what say we take a look at the syllabus? In order to see the syllabus, we click on the tab and then we click on the link. You have an option here. You can save it to your desktop so that you can continue to open the syllabus without having to go into LiveBinder or Blackboard. I certainly suggest that you do that. But for the time being, we're just going to go ahead and click open because we just need to have it open on my desktop for a few moments so that I can kind of show you around the syllabus. I want to urge you that if you have any questions, you jot them down and you kind of hang on to your questions until it's a little bit closer to the beginning of the semester. Right now, we're finishing up the fall semester here. We're getting ready for the holidays. Things are a little bit crazy, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have once this semester is over and you're getting ready for the spring semester. The syllabus basically contains all of the information you need to be a successful student. It has lots of information. It is quite lengthy. It's not my intent to go through the entire syllabus for you, but I do want to give you some highlights to kind of point out some things that I think are really essential. And I'm going to begin with how you get in touch with me. If you look at the very first page of the syllabus, these are the two email addresses that get to me at Sam Houston State University. lis_tsl@shsu.edu or Dr. L at shsu.edu. You can also call me. My office hours are generally on Mondays between the hours of 8 and 2, and if we need to, we can arrange another time for you to get in touch with me. These are the key pieces from the first page of the syllabus. We're going to scan down this syllabus. Some things I'm going to run through quickly, other things I'm going to take a little bit of time and talk to you more about. I want to take us down to textbooks for the class. There is a required textbook for the class. It's Sylvia Vardell's Children's Literature in Action, A Librarian's Guide. It's available through Libraries Unlimited. It's available at Amazon.com. It's available at our bookstore as well. You can also email me and say you'd like to purchase a copy directly through the department. We have probably about a dozen or so copies. We'll be happy to sell those to you for $40, which is cheaper than you can get them at Amazon and other places. It is possible to share this textbook if you've got a classmate who lives nearby. We will not be reading the entire book, but you will be referred to the book for each and every textbook assignment. So it's important that you get the book and that you order it well in advance so it arrives before the first week of class. In addition to the textbook, everybody in class is going to read the same set of children's books. You can see it's a lengthy list, 35 books. I will remind you, though, that when we talk about children's books, they tend not to be very long books, and as a matter of fact, many of the books on this list are picture books, which are 32 pages long and have a great deal of illustration on each page, which means the text is not terribly difficult. These books represent some of the finest books that are out there in children's literature, and you can see that the dates range from books from the 1960s all the way up to books from 2011. So you're going to really see the range that's out there in terms of literature. We have lots of different genres, we have different forms and formats, we have funny books, we have sad books, we have informational books. That's nonfiction. We have books that really do represent the wide range that are out there right now. I want to take just a couple of minutes and run through these books for you. The Strange Case of Origami Yoda by Tom Engelberger won the Texas Bluebonnet Award last year, so we know that it's popular with kids in grades 3 through 6 who voted in the Bluebonnet balloting. The Underneath by Kathy Appelt, a book by one of our Texas authors. This was a Newbery Honor book from 2009. Hitler Youth, a nonfiction book by Susan Campbell Bartoletti. Spiders is a nonfiction picture book by Nick Bishop. You are free to read any of the Nick Bishop nonfiction books here. He's got books on spiders, on lizards, on snakes. You can pick any of those to read. How They Croaked the Awful Ends of the Awfully Famous by George Bragg is a nonfiction book that is about how famous people died. Kids will absolutely love this nonfiction book. Dear Mr. Henshaw by Beverly Cleary, one of the first novels to deal with a main character whose parents were divorced. You can see the date for that, 1983. I Face the Wind by Vicky Cobb is a nonfiction book intended for elementary kids. It shows them how the scientific theory works, how to formulate hypotheses and do experiments. Absolutely wonderful. The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963, is a Newbery Honor and a Coretta Scott King Honor book. Martina the Beautiful Cockroach by Carmen Agredidi, a book that is a wonderful Cuban folktale, is one of our multicultural books for the class, as is The Legend of the Bluebonnet by Tommy DePaula, a story of Native American culture here in Texas. Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper is a novel for older kids in the class, and the main character is has cerebral palsy and can only communicate with people who know her well. Olivia by Ian Falconer, and you can read any of the Olivia books, is a picture book about Olivia the pig who likes things in a very certain kind of way. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, another Newbery winner from several years ago. Magic Windows by Carmen Lomas Garza is a wonderful nonfiction book about how to do papel picado. Rosa by Nikki Giovanni, beautiful illustrations by Brian Collier, is a Coretta Scott King winner from several years ago. Rapunzel's Revenge appeared on our Bluebonnet list and is a graphic novel for young readers. It's So Amazing is a nonfiction book about sex and sexuality and growing up. You can read any of the Baby Mouse books by Jenny and Matt Holm. There are 12 books in the series, and any one of them would be fine. Ditto, you can read any of the books in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid saga by Jeff Kinney. Skullduggery Pleasant is a delicious, delightful, wonderful read-aloud series from England that also has a wonderful audio book. You should feel free to listen to any of these books in audio if you can find them. Rules by Cynthia Lord is a Newbery winner. We Are the Ship by Kadir Nelson was a Caldecott and Coretta Scott King Honor book. Doodlebug is a novel in doodles about a girl who's ADHD. Lizzie Bright and the Buckminster Boy is a Newbery and Prince Honor book. It's historical fiction. Good Masters, Sweet Ladies, a wonderful Newbery winner from several years ago. It is a novel in verse about a medieval village. The Invention of Hugo Cabret, the only Caldecott winner that's longer than 32 pages. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak, the oldest book on our list and one book that will stay on this list as long as I teach this class. It's a Caldecott winner, and it is the king of all picture books. To Dance is a graphic novel by Mark and Sienna Siegel. Mirror Mirror is a wonderful collection of different fairy tales told in unusual kinds of ways. It's a book by Lane Smith is an example of metafiction, something we'll talk about down the road. 13 Words by Lemony Snicket proves that not all picture books are for young readers. Balloons Over Broadway tells the story of how the balloons came to be in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. A Crooked Kind of Perfect, a wonderful short chapter novel, perfect for middle grade readers. The Three Pigs, a variation of what used to be a familiar folktale, but in the hands of David Wiesner, very different. And finally, Mo Willems' Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, a Caldecott Honor book. Well, those are the books that you'll be reading for class. This should give you kind of an idea of what to expect this semester, and I'll be back with another video shortly. Thanks.